Is it cool with you guys if we just skip the hype intro with the hook and promise so they watch till the end thing for this one here? Just put that aside and address how much suffering you're going through if you're not at ease with public speaking. This is not a time to joke. We'll go over the biggest problem with public speaking tips online, the biggest mistake people make for thousands of years as teaching public speaking, and the main mistake is it's being taught in the wrong order. And I'll give you a resource by the end of this so you can put it in the right order and take care of any psychological, emotional, or physical issues you have as it relates to confidence. Get rid of all that in 14 days for free. So let's get started. And before the objection came, I hear you, what do you mean for thousands of years? Who do you think you are? Listen, I might say, I don't even know what I'll say in advance here, but I might say a few things that might ruffle a few feathers. Just so you understand from the context I'm coming from, an ex-chronic stutterer. My face would not make any sounds before, okay? Now I've coached international keynote speakers, TV hosts, and national trainers, and I've created a new speaking system in the middle that allows you to speak without scripts, stress, or memorization anywhere you need to speak for the rest of your life. So whatever I'm talking about, I didn't read this on LinkedIn last week or a book or a course on Udemy. This is decades of suffering, humiliation, and pain condensed into deep tools you can use to free yourself of everything that keeps you stuck here with the volcano trying to kill you. So you're going over the Bliss Island here without using a pool noodle. Which brings us to the first tip, the first problem with public speaking tips. YouTube tips are great. LinkedIn listicles are great. Someone says, come on, man, just breathe, or just, hold yourself a certain way, or just say this. All these type of tricks are good for someone who's like 85% of the way there, just need a small nudge. But for most people, if you're secretly terrified, self-conscious, not at ease, like, it's just bad, any trick you read these tricks from a state of unconfidentness, not as a temporary thing, but as an identity situation your whole life. This is what we call Brainwash Island. Now, from Brainwash Island all the way to Bliss Island, you want to go there, but there's huge waves. I mean, you got huge waves facing you in that direction. You got huge waves all going in that flow. And if you think you're going to surmount this with a damn pool noodle, you're delusional. So the false sense of confidence that comes from small tips and tricks and, just do this and I get it. I mean, I teach some of those hacks. I know all these hacks. I used all those hacks. And there's their place for this. But if you're really terrified, like to the point, for example, what do you mean? How do you know if you're terrified? You know you're terrified if you see your competitors on stage, okay, and they're making more money. You see your competitors making videos and they're building their brand. You see them do what you know you kind of should. So you watch Gary V videos or Grant Cardone or whoever you're watching online. And by the way, whoever you're watching online, it's like a classic Dan Kennedy joke. Maybe like 1999. He's in a seminar. And these people are in a seminar about internet marketing, learning how to not speak to no one, type a few words and have money appear from the sky. Now Dan's on stage speaking to these people. He's saying, so you guys are here in a seminar, in a room, and I'm now on stage, public speaking to you guys about this thing. The guy that sold you this was on a video, or you saw him on stage, speaking on stage to you in a room, to sell you the thing that says you won't have to speak to anyone. You see? And then you start explaining slower so they get it. Speaking is the most important. It's the invisible layer of the business world. Think of anyone you follow online. I don't care who it is. Just think of someone you follow that you admire, trust, respect, watch their videos, or want to see their talks or anything. Think of anyone. Okay. Whatever they're doing, the first note, look, you don't take notes as to what they say. You take notes as to what they do. And the first note is Oh yeah, make videos. Oh yeah, speak on stage. That's what they're doing. It happens at I've seen this in people in business coaching programs. They just finish an 8-week program, a 12-week program, a 16-week program, $20, $30, $50,000. Then they realize, oh snap, now I have to do what the business coach did to build a brand to get me to want to consume the course and then get on the call. I mean, I have to. Oh snap, but I'm terrified. You know you should, you know you could, but there's a but, and then another but. And it's been like this for years. We're all natural born speakers, and then it gets beaten out of us somewhere between 2 and 7 or 9 years old. In my case, I stuttered for 20 some years, I mean 26, 27 years because of that. So stuttering is just a worse than usual thing of shyness. What do you mean? Okay, by the way, it's an eternal game. I don't know if you can see this here. There's a scar on my neck. Somebody tried to slash my knife. Okay, somebody tried to slashes your throat with a knife. That's a trauma. That could be considered a traumatic experience. By the way, speaking of forgiveness, if you can, you end up forgiving the person. You forgive and forget later on, and it eases the pain. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with the voice box, even though there was that knife. You just cut the skin. But I was stuttering before that. It's not the knife that caused that. In my case, it's a internal stuff, being afraid of what happens if you speak and all that type of stuff. So you need deep consciousness tools to help you at that level, which is irrelevant to the words and what you say. All that stuff comes before the words. Do you come out of words, or do words come out of you? So if you come out of words, well then you can keep doing the way public speaking training has been taught for thousands of years, which is the opposite way, which is words first, then confidence. But if words come out of you, you should maybe start considering another alternative 1,000 years later, which is confidence in you, because the words come out of there. Think about it. Take the best speech in the world, give it to the supermarket clerk. We all know that it will not have the same effect if the supermarket clerk just goes in and reads the damn thing. Because the confidence and the gravitas and the power is not in the words. Great speakers are said to have gravitas. Gravitas as in gravity, weight, heaviness, pressure. So if we know in advance that a speaker does not have what it takes at the gut level to handle the weight of the message screaming to come out of your chest with a straight face, there's no use working on the delivery of a message before the message is solid. Just as there's no use working on a message if we know that the messenger cannot handle the weight of that message. And this is why and how public speaking has been taught in the wrong order for thousands of years. Now, why am I saying this? You followed me? You good so far? Okay, let's come back here. Remember, the goal of this camera for you to come back here. This is where the learning happens. This is where you shift your beliefs, start to see things differently, and then you get out there and kick butt, take names. Okay? So basically, and then you cannot blame the public speaking industry. I was wondering, before I got into this, I was wondering, why do most speeches suck so bad? I mean, look at this guy. This is horrible. You know. Hello, everybody. Look at this. What's going on with people? Two things. Number one, the presupposition is, here's what you say. If we only tell the people, here's what you say. Memorize the magic script. Here are the words. Say this. All right. You got this? Stupid? Got it? Okay. With love. Okay. Some of them is like with love. Some of them not so. Then you say, okay, now here's how you, don't say it like that. Do this. Put some more oomph to it. Do this with your voice and all these type of tricks, and then smile at the end of your words. This is how you say what you now learned what to say. Now, step 3, get out there, go get humiliated, laughed at, thicken up your skin so you get confident, and then you'll be okay. That's kind of what it is. Okay, but the problem with this is 70% of the world's population is still terrified. That includes you. Okay, we got you. We got the tools, tactics, strategies, systems, and support you need in the academy, or even some of it free for YouTube here for you to follow along. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. My one-on-one coaching is sold out. I cannot, for the love of God, have another one. My coaching programs in groups you have to apply for, and the academy is free to get started. So I got nothing for sale here, okay? Not trying to sell you anything. I need to sell you on the idea that you might have been doing things in this wrong order, and that's why you're all jacked up, brainwashed into believing you can't do this, even though you want to. Okay? Forget where I was going with this, but anyway, come back here. The problem with this confidence thing is that this is confidence only in the one talk you learned by heart in the beginning. Just horrible. Because you're relying on memorization, memory palace, memory trick. This word, the end of this thing goes to that word, or whatever you're doing as a trick. That's bad, because if the timing you have to speak changes, you're hosed. If the context changes, the crowd changes, you can't adjust. Phone rings in the audience, something goes wrong, you're host. The reason it's been done that way is because it makes total business sense. Like, messaging is the easiest thing to teach. It's very formulaic. That's the formula. Just do that. Very easy. Okay, got it. Now, what to say, it's easy. And you can also coach coaches to detect that. It's easy to see it. So, good. Now, the confidence piece is hard because that's internal. So, unless you have or someone who's like deep consciousness tool or advanced meditators that can simplify these internal processes so that you can have easy and fast techniques to free you of that income capping, soul-crushing limitation of being shy, caved in, self-conscious, being afraid of getting laughed at, and just pretty much living your life in a way that you do not have to go and public speak, so you kind of self-limit your own legacy. And then the guilt of knowing you do that, and then the beating yourself over the head, and then the drinking that comes with it, and the drugs. I mean, I've been there. I'm clean now, but I've done the drinking and the drugs to numb the pain for years, daily. There's no judging here. I just know how bad it feels. And unless you know someone, like, I don't know, Uncle Sly, or someone, it could be like any world-class mindset expert can help you with this. Deep subconscious tools to remove the bad feelings, the bad thoughts, and pretty much when you think about it, it's feelings, thoughts, and movies you're playing in your mind. And if you can't handle that, you don't have tools to handle that, you're host. Because that then controls you and then makes you make decisions that have you avoid that so you never confront it. And then the power dynamics inside yourself are way off, and then you end up shriveling in a corner. And that's bad for you, your family, and your legacy. So anyway, I wasn't expecting this today. This could be a long subject. By the way, it's free. If you want to go in the academy, just find the link below, free trial something. Click on the thing. It's free for 14 days. It's going to tell you, if you're visual, do this. It shows you the technique. You do it yourself, and you go, wow, I feel different. I see things differently when I think about it now. Good. You're good to go. If everything's a concept, you I think about this, but then this concept, and you're kind of battling your thoughts, you use the mental structure dissolver technique. This is good for both cameras, the mental structure dissolver technique. Nobody teaches this in English. I got this from my mentor, the crazy French shaman, and I was one of the original guinea pigs for that technique. So, the only place you can get this in English is in the academy. It will help you close. Like when you open your computer, and you got a bunch of windows open and the computer's kind of lagging, it'll just close all the windows. Woo! And kind of refresh the system so your thinking gets clearer. You'll love it. And if everything's a feeling to you, then we use the emotion code by Dr. Bradley. I think it's not Bradley Cooper. Nelson Bradley. The emotion code. Using magnets to demagnetize the emotional pull of emotions and traumas in your spine and in your body. So all free. This will get you the baseline confidence, because here's how you come back here. Here's how you remove 80% of all public speaking problems in one fell swoop. When you just put things in the right order. So, because if you do, here's what you say, here's how you say it, then the person, okay, puts on a suit of a, let me hold myself in a confidence way, but secretly inside feels like a, small little dingy thing. And then, there's that power. Yeah. And nothing, like, you can have a high-pitched voice. There's no problem with high-pitched voice. It's just that, it's just like, I was just kind of miming a way of, so you get there and then you try to say it from an unconfidence, from a twisted and bent sense of self inside. So it doesn't come across well. If you just unbend and untwist the sense of self and close a few windows that says, you suck, you're bad, you're never good at this, you never amount to anything, what's the use anyway, who's going to listen to you, and all these voices, you just silence that. Internal silence inside. A regular cool feeling here, not Superman, that's wrong. We call it natural confidence, calm confidence. Yeah, I'm good. Well then, you move on to what you say and how you say it. So you take the golden rainbow, end of the rainbow thing, this is confidence, you put it in the beginning. And maybe thousands of years ago, they did not know these techniques, but now there are. Like in the 70s, we used to have like a dial-up phone on the wall. Now we have an iPhone. The internal tools, internal technologies, and consciousness tools have evolved at least as much as the phone since the 70s. So, to recap, pool noodles won't get you through the waves all the way here to maximum impact, income, influence, flow, grace, knowing what to say, how to say it, and being free on stage with gravitas and presence and connecting with the audience, and you won't get there with pool noodles. A chopper might do it, a cruise ship might do it, a catamaran might do it, a canoe if you're really stuck. But a pool noodle sure won't do it, because there's also sharks in there and whirlpools that you don't see. There's a lot of problems you don't know you have until you start battling those dragons. And then we battle these dragons on a weekly basis. That's what we do around here. So I know what there are. That's why I want to speak to you more serious today. We're not dancing around, hey, let's do a hook and stuff. This is serious. Get the trial in the academy so you get... Now, my assistant was like, won't people take advantage of the trial and just take this and leave? Yeah, go ahead. It's my gift to the world. Had I known this, remember, chronic stutterer, I couldn't even make a sound with my face. I would have swam. I would have swam through sharks to get this. That's my gift to the world. Take advantage. Get the trial and then cancel after. Even, he's trying to sell us, this is reverse psychology. It's not reverse psychology. The system will email you, hey, John, it's about to charge you in 3 days. If you stay, it's going to charge you. All right? Because we've got the systems all the way to 6-figure days. You can stay with us for years if you like. No problem. We got the tool, system, support, weekly calls, the whole thing. But the first 14 days, so I tell you, hey, watch out. You're going to get billed now if you don't leave. Okay? If you do nothing, I'll charge you. If you just stop. We even have people, because we can kind of see what you're doing there, have people signing up with different emails to do it again. It's okay. Get the tools, learn it, use it on yourself so you can free yourself. Because remember, this here is about you kicking butt and taking names. So, I've been Sly with nextlevelpublicspeaking.com. If you know anyone who would benefit from this video, you just say to them, hey man, there's this weird guy on YouTube with a French accent speaking English. Just speak with Sly. Same with us. If you know somebody who would like to partner with us to create 6-figure days from the stage, you say, hey man, just speak with Sly. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.